Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm all set. We're going to talk for a little bit, and then we're going to stream. So, yes, we got some NHL news. I did not. It was okay. You guys can watch it. We're watching it together. It was already out before. This is the it. Wait. Okay. One more thing. Before we start. Okay. NHL. Get saying. This video should have been out on the 28th. Okay? You said this is NHL, right? And we got it today? Today's the 29th NHL. Get saying. If you guys want to lie about the schedule, that's fine. Too. I'm not happy about that, EA. So yeah, we got some official news about the gameplay. And then we will have some news about when... Okay. So yeah, tonight we're doing a couple live streams. I will let you guys know about it. But yeah, this is supposed to be last night, not tonight. And then on the 26th, Wednesday, we're going... Oh, wait. Yeah, Wednesday. Because I'm not doing BFO Monday. We're not going to do that live stream. I'm going to watch it for sure. And if you guys want any news, watch it too. But on the 6th, we will do some franchise. And we will do BFO franchise and Hive on that day. And then on the 7th, we will have EA Play. I will have a live stream on that day. And on Friday the 8th, we will have a live stream on that day. And the 9th and the 10th, I don't know. So let me see. We have 10 hours, 8, 7. Because I'm going to plan again with the live streams. We will reboot. Hope the gameplay is awesome. So on October 7th, we will have the 10-hour trial for NHL. So I'm going to play 2 hours, so that will take us to 10, 8, 7, 6. So we have 7, 6 hours to play it. Saturday, I might not do a live stream Saturday. I might pre-record FIFA for you guys. I might not live stream on that day, but yeah. On October 10th, I think I will be back, and then we will have 5 hours of NHL for free. And then on Thanksgiving Monday, we will have... So, Saturday we will do 5, 4. And then the Western hours we will do on Monday, because the game comes out at midnight on Monday. And then that's it for all my... that's it. So far, our new games are FIFA and NHL. So that's all I'm going to be grinding for this week. For the whole week. Because in November 15 is when the new drone supposed to be coming out. And I want more money, so I need more money. So I can't buy it yet, but yeah, we will have some news. And our other career modes are coming out. But yeah, that's all we're going to do.
If you want to find out what game I'm playing, type in this.
Oh yeah, and also, we are going to have some mushrooms tonight. I will let you guys know. Tonight we are doing, so after this live stream, we're live streaming at 8 p.m. and we're doing our crib mode with our Team Blooders FC. So we're going to do that. And later on tonight, we're doing a 24-hour hut tonight. So we're going to be grinding out hut tonight. And then I will set more videos for tomorrow. That's it so far. Let's get into this video. So here's the official gameplay. I will let you guys watch it. Oh yeah, Lucas. Are you in here? Let me know if we're in here.
Sanjeev Kumar Singh. To whom you are speaking?
I'm speaking to my whole YouTube channel, whoever watch it after, and all that. And to you. So I'm talking to Lucas that is in my chat. If we're talking about that. Because I'm going to show him how to do. If we want, we can do Among Us, Lucas, with Torchlight on. But I will show you how after. But watch it. Here's some gameplay.
Welcome to the second of 4 of our community-led deep dives for NHL 22. You guys wanted to see some more gameplay, so today we're showcasing over 25 minutes of overhead gameplay for your viewing pleasure. We also worked with No Sleeves and Henrique to collect the top questions coming straight from you around gameplay and any concerns you had coming out of the closed technical test. Ben and Tyson from the gameplay team gave some great answers behind their thought process around NHL 22 that I think you will find pretty insightful. The full Q&A actually goes on for over an hour and a half, so we've selected the top questions for YouTube, but we will have a full-length version up on Spotify, and you'll be able to find that link in the description. I'm now joined by Ben, Tyson, Henrique, and No Sleeves. Let's jump right into this, and I actually want to go ahead and ask the first question. For those who played the game early through the technical test, passing seemed to be a hot topic. People either love it or
I
they
did not
struggle
love
with
it because
what
the
changed
pass
with passing this
receiver.
year, and what was the thinking behind that decision?
That's definitely the big pressing question out of the tech test. I think that the general meta has been a bit polarizing. We often get from people that they want the game to feel like the game that they loved. At the same time, they challenge us to change it every single year. So for us, we always want to make the game more realistic, but we always go back to what our community has said from the previous year, from competitive community, those looking for more realism, that kind of stuff, and then equate that back to kind of the real world NHL. So we aren't making a lot of decisions very often around just what's a game mechanic change we can make. We're always looking back at all those elements and trying to see where we might not be doing something that's expected based on how things work in the real world. And then when that taps into what's happening with the meta within our game, that's sort of the best case scenario, because it means that people want that change regardless of sort of where you sit in sort of realism versus competitive play and that kind of stuff. And then when we can tap into authenticity, we try to do that as well. So when it comes to passing, we wanted to make sure that the tougher passes to make weren't just as easy as the simpler ones. So when you're powering up your passes or you're passing blind, sort of behind yourself against your momentum, you're not going to get as much pass assist as you did in the past. There's also a lot more depth when it comes to player attributes. Also, we had the introduction of X Factors this year with some specific passing ones. The high level was just to make sure that people could still equate these things to what they see in the real world NHL or when they're on the ice themselves. So you obviously can't pass as hard on your backhand as you can your forehand. It's tougher to make passes against your momentum. These are all things that we've had in our shot model before. So when we looked specifically at the call out for forced cross crease passes, we did want to make sure that those were more earned. So it comes down to player twitch skill and also all the pieces that, again, you can equate to what it means to pass in the real world. So a strong pass with your momentum on your forehand is obviously going to be far better than one against your momentum on your backhand behind you. So that's sort of the core piece there. And as we get into this, Tyson will be able to dive into what we've done with specific X factors, how the attributes weigh in, how we wanted to separate players from our licensed roster, and then how that'll also fit into modes like Ultimate Team and what that means for World HL when you're creating your own players as well.
All right, guys, before I get into my first question, I want to thank you guys for having me for this talk. I just want to touch on the passing from the closed technical test that people either, loved it or struggled with it. Specifically on receptions of the pass. So when players were receiving it, that seemed to be kind of universally maybe disliked. It just seemed like they weren't handling the puck cleanly. Do you agree with that? And is it something that you're going to focus on maybe adjusting before launch, or do you think it's working as intended?
Yeah, I think it's tough for us because like over the years, and I think back to when we were trying to get ESHL, World HL stuff back going from NHL 16. And I thought back to even some of the goals that I had when I was running some stuff for gameplay in NHL 13 and 14 is that we really want to encourage team play, but we also want a lot of depth and we want the realism to be there. So it is a bit of a struggle for us to have passing and receptions differentiate players and not have people feel that we're discouraging team play. We don't want players just bobbling pucks for the sake of bobbling them. I know that we have a lot of players in the community that really tune in the sim aspects of game, especially when they're playing offline franchise. And it's really cool to check out kind of what some of those tunings look like as players try to increase period lengths and get realistic stats and that kind of stuff. But especially in the online competitive space, and when you've got maybe like 6v6 full online, we're not really looking to kind of discourage great team play and great playmaking. At the same time, defenders need to know what the most dangerous scenarios are. If you can make a great cross-seam backhand pass tape to tape all the time, there isn't an advantage to kind of get a player to like close them off where they are losing sort of their forehand or they're pushed into the corners or away from the sort of the momentum of the play. So we're trying to get as many of those elements in to add depth and to add more skill gap for players to have to work for what will bring them more success. But at the same time, we are taking all that feedback to make sure that we are still rewarding and encouraging team play over kind of the individual puck hog style and that kind of stuff. And you'll see that comes through in how we tune the puck carrier and sort of what they can get away with as well. But it's really all a sum of the parts kind of experience as we tune things.
That's a lot of interesting information, guys, especially I'm big on the removing of the auto sauce. I think that's a great change. And it kind of leads into my first question in regards to NHL 21, actually. Defensive pass intercepts in NHL 21 seem to be like non-existent. What was the cause of that and how has that changed in 22?
This has always been an interesting one. And I think the highest level piece that's good kind of talk to the community about, I've kind of had some conversations on Twitter and sometimes some like Twitter DMs with some really passionate players and stuff. I love those type of conversations. Back when I was more active, like on our forums, we talk about this kind of stuff. And again, it's kind of the high level goals between kind of realism versus Twitch skill when it comes to the competitive space. When it comes to the competitive side of our game, we often hear from a lot of players that they really want to make sure that everything that happens is because of a button that they pressed. And I would often get into these discussions with players about just rewarding positioning in general. Like how much is it something that I'm manually doing just by being in possession, being in the right place to give myself enough reaction time in a passing lane versus manually pressing pass block or poke check to deflect a puck and that kind of thing. So we actually had turned off our old pass disruption model in the online space. So for players who played offline, you would have continued to see basically what were like these poke checks where players could defend passing lanes automatically, just the same as they would play an automatic pass reception or pickup. They would poke pucks. But in the online space, because we were asked to generate a bigger skill gap, and especially when players would perform these actions when they didn't expect them, maybe it would disrupt their skating and that kind of thing, we turned them off. And I think it hit the goal of increasing the skill gap, but often we would receive those videos of pucks just going straight through players saying, well, why isn't my player reacting? And if people that played, I think it was last year's beta, remember at one point, pass receptions were too powerful. Players were reaching behind their back and receiving these pucks cleanly and that kind of thing. So really we had kind of two mechanics. We had the pass disruptions and then we had the pickups. And we needed to tune the pickups. Like once players saw those and they saw that they were overdone, it was obvious because we all watch real world hockey all the time and we know what's believable and what's realistic. And it's sort of our job, even though some things are heightened within a 4-minute period experience, we want people to come out of our experience all the time feeling like, hey, that's just like the hockey that I watch on TV. That's just like the hockey when I'm out at the rink playing stick and puck with my friends or playing in competitive leagues and that kind of thing. So when somebody reaches behind their back and just like glue, the puck stuck to their tape, we all know that that's unrealistic. And even if we want to see a player break up those passes, it can't be done in that way. Otherwise, it kind of breaks that overall realism and immersion to what is otherwise simulation hockey. So we tuned those to be realistic, and you were at a point last year where if you didn't receive the puck cleanly, you wouldn't play an attempt at all. So you would see players play pickups if they could receive the puck clean. And because the pass disruptions or deflections were turned off, unless you were manually pressing block, using defensive skill stick, or manually poking, you weren't going to get those reflex type reactions. Some people like that because they did think it increased the skill gap, and they thought that they learned within the meta of the game how to overcome those things. And then there was other times where we continued to get sent footage saying like, hey, this puck went right between my legs. What am I supposed to do? And without getting into this whole sort of description that I had just given you now, we were kind of like, yeah, I agree. Players should make those plays. And we thought that we were at a point now where the community agrees with us, right? It became to the point where too many passes were forced through, and that kind of got to meme level status with the game. And we thought that we could this year turn back on what we're calling kind of like these reflex disrupts. So if you're not able to react fast enough or have enough time to play a nice clean pickup reception, your player can still play a reflex reaction. So they can kind of flinch with their skate or that kind of stuff. And again, I'll sort of throw it to Tyson to explain exactly how we executed that. But it really was adding in these reflex reactions to reward players from being in good position. And the goal from my side was to say that most players should do really, really well when you're sort of inside your shoulder width, right? They can turn a skate to the side, that kind of thing, and block a pass with that reflex. But maybe some of these better players would have more range, or they'd do a better job with softer passes and that kind of stuff. So with that, I'll throw it to Tyson to kind of explain again sort of how the attributes weigh in, how we got the player differentiation, and some of the X factors that come into play to make that work.
So we have a much better distinction within pickups and intercepts in itself, whether you can react to it at all. So if somebody's powering a pass right beside you, you may not be able to react to it at all. Then the next levels, if you can react to it and just throw in like a poke check or skate or something like that, which you may incidentally hit the puck or you may not based off some of your defensive awareness, or mostly defensive awareness actually, since that's kind of like your reaction time stat on the defensive side of things. And then whether you can get to the puck position but you bobble it if it's too hot to handle, if it's not a flat pass, and that kind of ties into your hand-eye if it's in the air, whether you can kind of receive that, knock it down clean. And then puck control is more on the side of if you can just receive it off the ice. And then the fourth is if you receive it clean. So that factors in your defensive awareness, your hand-eye if it's in the air, your puck control if it's on the ice. And then I think users should notice a lot more nuance there instead of last year where it was very kind of you either picked off the pass or your player didn't react to it at all, which obviously feels really bad if you're sitting in the lane and the player you're controlling just doesn't do anything. It just makes them look unaware and unathletic. So we wanted to add that kind of like gradient of if you can react to the puck or if you can grab it clean or not. And then we added a lot more animation coverage for intercepting passes with both your stick, your skate, if it's in the air, if it's on the ice. There's a ton of new animation for both normal players and then even players with the ability have even more animations and coverage that they can disrupt passes, more so in the air, and kind of more reaching ones, I guess, is where we put most of the emphasis for some of those X Factor abilities. Overall, like players across the board will have much more opportunity to intercept or at least get a piece of passes this year.
Thanks for the explanation, guys. Actually, that makes a lot of sense now, just in terms of what you guys were saying about turning off that system that was in the game beforehand. And I'm not going to lie, the closed technical test, it felt like intercepts were completely different and a welcomed addition to 22. But I'm going to throw the next question over to my man, Henrique.
Yeah, happy to be here, of course, and just excited to see 22 soon. So this question is always a big one, though. Speed, of course, always a big factor in the game. It's always a major topic. So there is instances in which a much faster player cannot get space against a much slower one. What could cause that?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. It's a good example of a question that kind of gets asked And sometimes we even get kind of confused by it because there's sometimes questions get asked and we say, well, yeah, we did that on purpose. Then we kind of we need to look further into the details of sort of what people are experiencing and that kind of thing. But in terms of speed, we obviously really want skating to separate players. And over the last few years, we've looked back to kind of like how I was sort of mentioning off the top of looking at sort of the core meta of our game and how it plays, and then looking back to the real world for cues on where we might not be doing something that exists in the real world, because we want people to be able to take these cues that they know from the real world sport. We don't want them to just be things that we've designed for our game. It needs to be grounded in the reality of hockey. So last year, for example, we had made some of the changes around pivots because the way our skate model worked, players were able to kind of start accelerating and gain speed. For example, if they're skating backwards and then they need to pivot to skate forwards if they're going to get burned, they would start getting more acceleration before they really kind of got their hips around or got that first foot planted. Unlike the real world where that extra step or two is the difference between losing that step or not. So there's things that we've been doing just as we've moved along to improve our core mechanics to kind of achieve those differences and gaps. And then when we look at the general sense of speed, there's so much more that goes into it. Like we'll have players reach out and say, hey, like this player has a higher rating and they're pretty sure that they're fresh, they have a full stamina, like why are they getting burned? And it can really be the difference. Like we see these NHL players play, and the difference in a breakaway or not, or a player splitting the defense or getting behind a defensive player to get a pass, like these are single steps sometimes. And there aren't many players in the NHL that can play on a daily basis that get caught because of speed. So for us in our game, it can be a really finite difference. And I think it really comes down to that. And it's not really to kind of make excuses around it, but it's something that we're interested in to kind of go, what do we need to kind of emphasize when it comes to gameplay meta, maybe that sort of is or isn't sort of realistic? Like we need to understand why players are experiencing these things in our games, because you can be really quick with your thumb or when you're viewing the game from a higher view and not on the ice, there's different ways that reaction time plays out there. So even sometimes when we're realistic, it may not give the same sense of what it's like for players on the ice to lose that step or not. So I think that plays into it as well. And then the other thing is, we have different game styles in our game, especially like all the core players will know this really well, but all of our competitive modes online use the competitive game style. And we obviously have full sim above that. And one of the differences there is our acceleration setting. So on full sim, acceleration is a little bit more realistic. It's a little bit slower to get going, which adds a bigger gap between players. But we actually, I don't know, it might have been like 3 or 4 years ago now, we increased acceleration in our competitive game style. And that was really from feedback from the community around wanting faster play, more twitch response, feeling that, hey, because I am playing from a bird's eye view, I need that game to move faster so that it's like it is when it's on the ice. And I think the community originally had thought that would provide more gaps. But really, if you think about situations where players are burned and they need to get back, acceleration is actually the one thing that's actually going to benefit them more than, say, top speed or something. So we've still been kind of batting around the idea of whether acceleration itself should come down a bit, and then that would help some of those scenarios. We still have a big difference between players, all the attributes matter, that kind of thing. But within these core game styles, we can kind of raise the ceiling or sort of raise the floor, which kind of increases or decreases the gaps when you're looking at a player who's like an 85 excel versus a 90 or an 88 speed versus a 92, that kind of thing. Again, kind of an ongoing discussion on sort of what we're missing there. But one thing players will notice this year is within agility, and we saw some of that called out during the technical test. It's interesting. It kind of comes through as positive and negative feedback. Again, kind of player differentiation being a positive, but then sort of the feel of your player. Oh, my player feels sluggish, I can't get them going. So it's hard for us to balance those things, for people to kind of love the way something feels when they're moving a player around with their thumb, and also making sure that when players are giving feedback on the core meta of the game, are you keeping your breakaways? Are you getting the space that you expect? So I know that doesn't fully answer the question, but hopefully it's sort of some insight into kind of what we kind of bat around in our head in terms of Twitch game mechanics, realism, and that we are at the end of the day really listening to the community when it comes to those things. And I do feel that when players do take advantage of gaps and making sure that they do hustle ahead, don't start deking too early, that we do see players keep their breakaways. And we have seen players this year, especially with some of the X factors and the difference we made last year in pivots. We are seeing speed through the neutral zone, players that are able to pick up the pucks at speed, able to separate themselves. but it's something that we'll continue to monitor. And it's really great when the community kind of sends in clips to show us specific examples, because when these things are said rather than shown, sometimes we think we're aligned and we're not. And I think that's a really good thing for the community as well, that when they're sort of asking for something that we can't necessarily isolate, because it really is the sum of the parts, right? When it comes down to all the things I was speaking to, we really want to make sure that we take all those things into account, because one change in one area can drastically impact everything else. So again, if players want really quick Twitch response, it might actually mean that skating actually doesn't have the depth or the player separation that you would otherwise want for the meta of the game to increase.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, there's a fine line, with every change, especially with speed. But the changes sound very, very exciting and good for NHL 22. You moved to Frostbite this year, right? So Frostbite, of course, great on the graphics, like a huge improvement over there. But what type of impact does Frostbite have on the gameplay overall for the game?
It's interesting, like within our core gameplay and the way it's done, like you said, Frostbite opens up a lot of doors for the art team, sort of within the way that the engine's set up, and for those teams to share a lot of the great work that was done before to the engine. For us on the gameplay side, it will also being able to work closer with some of the other teams that have been there before us. I think that's always the best thing about being on shared engine. So for all of us in sports to be able to share things going forward, then you're not kind of building things from scratch, doing it your own way unless it's necessary. So in the past, teams may have done similar things over and over again. And we haven't sort of been stopped. Like when we put in the new skating engine, that was already shared technology from sort of a central group, and we were able to work on that, and that allowed us to achieve a high bar in the very first year that we put it in, and we continue to be able to build on it and then learn from other groups. So I think it really just expands the amount of times that we can do that. And the more that you're kind of tap into what other teams are doing, then you can kind of take or leave the things that work for your sport. Because obviously there's some things that are similar and other things that are different. But at the base level, like when you're looking at skating systems or locomotion engines, that kind of thing, although players are running around in football and soccer and we're skating, the base tech behind sort of animation blending and that kind of stuff is something that is useful for everybody. So at a base level, it may not make sense of sort of what we can share with some of those other teams, but at a technology level, it adds a lot of benefits. And then I think the other piece with anything, kind of when you're going to a new engine, as the art teams are looking to kind of push their bar, it means that we need to do the same on the gameplay side. So when it came to the stick and physics, it was the right year to do it. If we were going to really push the visual fidelity, and especially going for the years forward of looking at ways to continue to push the new consoles and see what we can do there, those sort of, like, people have probably heard of the term uncanny valley, right? Like as things get more realistic, then the things that don't kind of hold up to that really stand out. So for us to have sticks through the boards or sticks going through players' legs, I think we got to the point from a gameplay mechanic perspective where we started to tune those things pretty well. But when players are looking to the real world of like, well, why didn't my player pick up that puck then? And then you have to go into a replay and say, well, six.
Hi, James. I'm watching the NHL trailer, and then we're talking through it, and then I'm ending it soon.
Frames before that, your stick went through a leg, so we blocked you out of being able to pick up that puck because we believed that X amount of time it would take for you to avoid that player and get it around. And now that we have the stick in physics, again, holding up to the increase in overall visual quality, we get to solve some of those things, and visually the game will make more sense to players. They're like, oh, I get it, I couldn't receive that puck because my stick was caught up on that player and I need to get around them first. Or I was able to take that player's stick out of the play, and that's why they lost possession. That kind of thing. So there is a piece to Frostbite and just the general push from the team to increase that overall level of fidelity that's pushed the gameplay team. So not necessarily something that we had to wait for the Frostbite engine for, but it was something that's really challenging, and we needed an engineer that was excited to take on that challenge, and this was the right year for it. So in some cases it's the engine opening up opportunity, in the other case it's sort of the right time to dive into that kind of stuff as well.
I kind of just want to piggyback on that. So in NHL 22, obviously the stick and physics has been added to the game. It's a new layer to the game. Compared to the past really big additions to gameplay, like the skill stick or even the defensive skill stick, how do you guys rate it compared to those in terms of how it's going to impact gameplay?
When we first started, we had no idea what we'd be able to do. Like, this is something that's been on a wish list since before I ever joined the NHL team. Like, I remember seeing it as just a fan of the game on internet topics, people chatting about it, like, oh, why do sticks go through the boards and that kind of thing. And then when I was in the seat as a gameplay producer and designer, trying to figure out, can you solve these problems, we always kind of had conversations with the community around whether it was the right time time to take that on. And I totally see it through the lens of players that were challenging at that on us, going like, well, it's just not realistic. Why would you ever do it that way? But when we've tried to do things like that in the past, players have actually lost control that arguably they should still have in the real world. So being able to kind of navigate near the boards, as much as it allowed you to do some things that were unrealistic, it allowed you to kind of cycle the puck and stay down low. And if you were forced to be a full stick length away from the boards, like other games that have tried to do those things in the past, or just sort of what that would have led to us having to do without more advanced animation systems and the stick sort of running in physics, it would have probably hampered things too much where people would have lost the fun factor. And I know that players on our forums and stuff were like, oh, well, just let us try it, right? Like, didn't want to kind of take our word for it. But I think that when we had done some of those things, it was really cool from a tech test perspective. If we had put out demos, I think that people that are really into the simulation side of things would have gone like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like, I don't care if I lose the puck, and it's just great to have that in the game. But we weren't ready for something like that to kind of take the main stage and get there. And I felt that this year, again, it was the year to challenge it again. We didn't know if we'd get a solution. And we had a conversation the other day with the engineer that was responsible. And I just sort of said, tip of my cap to you, because it really got a lot further than I thought. And early on, we were kind of like, well, what if it was only on for the puck carrier in these specific scenarios, or only to make the protect puck mechanic better, so that as you're driving in, that it doesn't seem odd to have sticks going through things, and that you can really push the defensive skill stick away with your free arm when you're protecting the puck. Like, what if we just got that scenario right? How would that be? And the more we played it, the more those unique scenarios were like, oh, this is really cool. We have to keep going. And we felt kind of guilty at times pushing the engineer responsible, because we're kind of going like, oh, here we are just asking for more and more stretch goals. But as we expanded it, I think it did move from being really cool for certain scenarios to really changing the overall meta of the game. And then the other piece is just, again, for people to kind of visually understand why things happen. So for people that have to know the game mechanics in the past, and like I mentioned before, say like, oh, because my stick went through this object at this time, I'm not going to be able to do this thing, is confusing if you aren't looking at things in that detail. So now that you can actually equate it to, oh, it's because my stick's held up, it just makes more physical sense than just what people already know of the real sport of hockey. You don't need to kind of put it through the filter of what's the game mechanic version of this thing. Will it hold up to things like the skill stick? I don't know. I think when you get a mechanic that you have one-to-one control with your thumb, it's really hard for us to come up with an innovation that meets that level. But I think in terms of the sum of the parts of the system, like we like to talk to often, in terms of visual realism, it's really expanded the depth of player differentiation. It's opened up the doors for a lot of the X factors that we added in. So again, getting rid of a lot of the black and white mechanics. Like, players have been frustrated by incidental contact. I've been called out for that stuff all the time, like, just turn it off. And it's funny because we also get people call out that all we care about is offense, and yet some of the main things that we get challenged on at the competitive space are the defensive things, like how easy it is to get shoved off the puck, or how easy it is to lose the puck to stick on stick contact. So now that those things aren't just kind of on or off, and that it matters how much strength you have on your stick, and that a player going into a pickup with two hands versus one hand, that kind of stuff we would have never been able to do without stick and physics. So it was really cool to see the doors open there and for things to physically make sense. So I think when you are someone who really pays attention to the sub levels of detail within the game, somebody who loves the authenticity, and for us to be able to do all that and overall preserve a lot of the core game balance that we had before, like, we worried, like, what if this gets to simulation within a 4-minute period game? Like, is the puck going to be loose all the time? It's really, really held up well. So I do ask the community in its edge cases. It's obviously the first year doing this. It's a big technical achievement. So hopefully they'll be kind to us and share with us the things that we can improve, as opposed to using examples of things that don't go right as a reason to go, oh, this should get turned off or it should be changed. I really hope that it is embraced. And from the early feedback from the technical test, I think that it is going well. But I really hope that this is only the start of being able to do more with that feature, and for us to get the stick in physics in more and more cases, like away from the puck and that kind of stuff as well.
Thanks everyone for listening. Please let us know what you think, and if you still have any questions around gameplay, we'll try to cover them in future content. Remember, you can listen to the full Q&A through the link in the description. But thanks again, and we'll see you October 4th.
So that was it. I like it a little bit. I'm not going to say I'm honest, but I like it a little bit. I did try it. I did do the, I I did do the technical test and it was okay. The one problem that they talk about it and I did not still agree with it, but they did not fix, they didn't really talk about puck pickups, like saving the pass. They did talk about it, but I didn't really like the talk. The game looked good. I like that they're doing better on defense, like better defense, because the defense in this game was really bad.
World of NHL when you're creating your own players as well.
I am actually going, when I'm doing my hut or franchise, I am going to stop, and if it was a goal, I'm going to look at the goal in more detail, and if I like that goal, I will say it's okay. If I don't like it, I will message that to EA.
Alright guys, before I get into my first question, I want to thank you guys for having me for this.
This looked good. I hope it's still good. I hope we get better news. The gameplay sure was okay. It wasn't mind-blowing. I'm looking at some drone videos if we should do another drone video later today. But yeah, it's okay. It's not my cup of tea, kind of. One sec. I want to watch someone. Yeah, it's not my cup of tea, really. It was fine. Give me one, it is fine. I am actually, once we officially, wait now. That was fine. That was good news. I like the news. Don't get me wrong, the news was amazing. But they didn't really talk about, I'm actually going, when we're officially, what is it? One sec, I'm trying to think.
Powerhouse official. Do you think it comes down to bad AI design?
Yeah, totally, the computers are really bad in that game. Yeah, you know what? I can show you. Yeah. Let me show you something, James. This will tell you how bad the game was. This year's game was really bad. It's definitely the AI. If they fix puck pickups, if they fix the board stuff, this is my game, and I stopped playing it. I don't really play the full game anymore. This game, I only play it for a little bit. I can't show you, I played, what did I play more of? Let me see. Yeah, AI is really bad design. If they fix AI a little bit, make it a little bit tougher, but not too tough, and make the AI actually do stuff, then I will play it more. And a good answer would be FIFA. Take FIFA stuff. FIFA is such a good game. I play that more than this. I don't even care about this game mode anymore. I don't care about HUT. If they fix the AI, make it a little challenging, but not too challenging, then it will be good. I played, let's do the math here. Let's do the math, because I really want to find out how many games I played. I played more games than, yeah, we can actually go back in my channel, because I actually have that. I played 82 games. 82 games on NHL 21. And then if we go, one sec, we'll go back to the Google. I could easily check how many games I played. What, I don't even know what NHL version it was. Let's see. We have to go back pretty much, because
Powerhouse official. Maybe they should make a dynamic that adjusts to the player's skill.
Yeah. No, they know what? That is a good idea, James. Really good idea. Cause, yeah, let's see. I'm saying when NHL 20, I think I played more games than 21. I think. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I think I played 20 more. 21. Yeah, I think I played 21 more. Let me see. Yeah, I played 21 more. 20. I played 20 more than 21. Yeah, if they have that, I know one thing that does have that, and I do like it in that one. I have it. NBA have that. I mean, not NBA. Baseball. It does have that too. I like that in baseball too. That's a good idea. Wait. They have that setting in baseball. Dominic, right there. They should add that, and then they should add that on NHL 22. Because, yeah, they should add that. Because this game, I don't even play more. If they add that and maybe do a little bit better picking up the puck, realistic stuff, I do have the game. I do have NHL 22. Hopefully it's not bad. The one thing I want to change is the stuff. Make it realistic gameplay. If they do that, then this game will blow up for sure. And if they don't make it cross-play next year, and they don't add GM connected, this game is not going to be good for a while. They can do minor stuff to the game, but if they don't make the game...
Powerhouse official. Maybe by NHL 69 don't get their ST together face with tears of joy.
Yeah, I know. I changed... This is how bad the game is. I changed the sliders on this game. This is my sliders for franchise. If I don't have to... if I change this... we shouldn't be able to change this. I like it. Yeah, you should.
Correction by NHL 69.
Yeah. I know. I don't care about those versions. I want better gameplay this year. Better gameplay improving. How about that? Because this game is better than EA. EA made a better soccer game for sure. EA made a better game of this than NHL. And I don't get it. FIFA is up there. I know why they want to make this game better, but NHL is the same in Canadian. They don't really care about... Vancouver should make this game more popular too, and it will be a lot more better. This game is so much fun. I have so much fun playing this game. You guys can watch me play it tonight and see how much fun I have. I have so much fun with this game than NHL. Baseball's fun too. I love baseball too. I don't play that much because I have other stuff. But yeah, baseball's fun. Hitting's fun in that game. We have some. Oh, what? One sec. We have some. Oh, I made money. I made money today. Awesome. Awesome. I don't care about this stuff. Yeah, but yeah, if they improve the game like that and make it more into like not FIFA, I say. But if they made it a little bit, I got 10. Maybe I could bump him up. Why did someone pick him? I wouldn't pick him. Whatever. Yeah, like if they improve, like this game mode is the funnest I ever have. Like my team is sick. I get bought this guy because my goalkeeping was sick, bad. But this game is funner. They actually have chemistry in the game. EA should do that. Not saying they should or not, but they should add that. That would be cool.
In the last 4 months, a lot of you has asked me whether to buy a DJI Air 2S or rather wait for the new incarnation of the Mavic 2 Pro. Up until now, I was replying that we didn't have solid information about the new drone, but this week things have changed. There have been huge leaks, and I mean huge. In this video I will analyze in depth what we can expect from the upcoming flagship of the Mavic line, when it should be released, and at what price. The wait has been extremely long, but from the specs it looks like a drone from another galaxy. A new version of the Mavic 2 Pro has been a priority of DJI for a very long time. Until the release of the Mavic Air 2S, the 2 Pro was selling very well. but the new drone has a lot of improved feature due to 3 years of what appears like the user manual CGI behind this. The capabilities of possible to get images of the Mavic 2 Pro or the Mavic 2 around 5.2K. It's not clear yet what this is.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I'm also, wait, I don't want to spend my money on this stuff if I don't want to, but I already bought it, so I'm not returning it. Like, I'm not going to delete the game or anything like that. Because I want to save up for the drones. Like, I want this Mavic free, and it's going to cost, like, a lot of money, too. So, like, hopefully it's good and the game is good, right? Like, I honestly hope this game is good. Like, if they, like, we're going to break down the game when I get it. Like, we're going, October 7th is when we get 10 hours to play it. So, I'm going to have 2 videos on Thursday, Friday, we're going to have
Powerhouse official. Unless they added the Game Pass Ultimate.
I wouldn't even buy it if it was on the Game Pass. I wouldn't. Like, if I was thinking about getting the Game Pass, I wouldn't buy it for that. If they improved the game. Because this is the same with Madden. Madden have the same stuff for EA. EA does not care about Madden or NHL. It's facts. Like, they made this game, like, Madden, like, it, all the same stuff. Like, if we made the Super Bowl, let's see if they have any, like, look, sucks. People, like, Madden and NHL get so bad reviews. And I buy it every single year, hoping it's going to be good. Like, if it's not good this year, I'm not going to get it next year. If they improve it next year, I will think about it.
Powerhouse official. What's your thoughts on Halo having microtransactions?
I'm not into, like, shooting games, but I might not. I will watch it if, like, I will see about it. I'm not into those, like, games.
Powerhouse official. For the online portion of Halo Infinite.
Okay. I will look it up and I will watch it. Like, I'm not buying it. If it comes out on Game Pass, I will surely have it. I have to update my Game Pass and my Ultimate in March, so. But yeah, if it's on Game Pass, I will get it. If not, then I'm not going to get it because I'm saving up for that drone more than games. So I can make more drone stuff. I can show you what I made so far. I don't know if it's on this computer or on my USB. I can show you what I made for it. And I did get an editing software, James, that I like. If you heard about this one, I will show you it. I like it. I looked at it before I bought it, and it was really good.
Wisebot.
So,
1 viewers. Smiley face.
hopefully it's
Alarm clock 1 hour 4
good.
minutes and 15 seconds. Powerhouse official. Yet it'll be coming games to PC and console. I tested it back when the game was in alpha.
Okay. If it's on there, I will play it for sure. One sec. I'm trying to find the video. of the drone. But yeah, I can show you my editing software. I pay for it. I hope it. I know why it was so cheap now. Because other software was coming out. This is my editing software, James, if you like it. It's, I forget it. Premium Studio. I like it. It looks good, and it was really. I like the style of it, and adding stuff.
Powerhouse Official. The story will be paid and the online portion is gone free to play.
Okay, I will try it, and if I like it, I will get it. But I will see. First, I have to see how much this drone is going to cost me, because this drone is going to be way more than. Is my stuff ready yet? Because I want to show you the video that I made. Let me open this and see it. One sec. It's not like I can skip parts, and I use the editing software for it too. So now I lost the video again. So much stuff. Yeah. Memorize it.
Powerhouse Official. See how much it's weird to hear specifically in the online portion all the Spartans have different voices.
Totally. Wait, totally. Wait, totally. Here. I'm gonna have to find my, how do I capture this one? Give me a sec. Is it...
Powerhouse Official. LOL, my voice to text end up picking up your voice.
Really? Jeez. Is it a window? I think it's a window. Is that window? No, that's not it. That's not it. I have to find it. Give me a sec. Oh, wait. Maybe I can't do it big. I forgot. I don't know. Can I do it like that size then? One sec. No, I can't do that. I don't know how to do this one sec, James. And then after I show you, I'm probably going to call it. Browser window. Maybe it's a game capture. Let go game. No, it can't be. Yes. One sec. We have to find it. One sec. Give me a second. I don't see it on here. I hate this so much when it doesn't work. Game chat, no. I don't see it. I have another way we can do it. One sec. We can... Wait. One sec. Yeah, I can show you another way, actually. One sec. Delete it. I hate when you can't show stuff like here. Now let me follow you on this side. Yes. Follow you on my other monitor.
Powerhouse Official. Speaking of Windows, I've been testing Windows 11 so far. Its Windows levels of stable but still better than Windows 10 performance.
Really? Wow. Wow. So yeah, here's the drone video that I made. I made audio, but I don't think I can share it. And I will also get better. Once I get the new drone, I will work on my editing, because it's awful, and the moving of the drone is awful. point that out. And it's super long, so I will cut through it. Yeah, like, I did a lot of editing on here. But yeah. And one more thing, James. Can you show me how to, like, bore out? Wait, here, let's go back here. Can you show me how to blur out license plates from videos? Because that would be nice too. If you know how to delete license plates. I can Google it, but if you know how, message me on Discord. Or send me a video. Wait, I want to edit that license plate so bad. And once yeah.
House official. I have no idea actually, I've never had to deal with that.
Okay. I will YouTube it and see how. But yeah, because I'm going to do a lot of drone videos and post them on YouTube, but I won't make money off of it for sure. I didn't want to do this for fun. But I need to see how to do it.
Just try to avoid filming cars or road signs.
Yeah, but it's going to be hard with flying up, you know, because the drone flies up and then you will probably get the license plate. So I'm going to find out how to. Some of these pictures I get from my phone too, so I can probably blur out that. But the actual footage of like this, I need to find out how. But that's pretty much it. I won't be posting this either because, like, I don't want to. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I am live streaming again, James, later, like 8 p.m. Like, we're doing some FIFA because I like FIFA. So yeah, I can show you quickly. Yeah, so I supposed to do this at 4, but now we're done. So yeah, now that's my next video, and I'm doing a 24-hour stream after that one. So yeah. Don't know what to make in that one. But yeah, we can play something if we want, and I can live stream it. What other games you want to play? But yeah, I hope EA makes their game good this year, or I'm not going to be playing it again. I'm mostly going to play NHL or FIFA. But yeah. The drone is not coming out since November, so I have a little bit of freedom to make money to buy it, because it's going to be like, I'm going to say like $2,000 or $3,000, and then I want and if James, do you know a good monitor? A good monitor to edit videos and play Xbox games. If you have any monitors in mind, then can you please let me know? Because I have one, but it goes for like $1,000, and I probably won't get it now, because after the drone. I can show you what one it was, so you have to find it. But yeah, if you have, like, I want it for, 4K for sure, because the monitors, yeah, 4K, I want it for the Xbox for sure, and what else? Yeah, I get to edit drone videos, because the drone that itself is going to shoot probably 4K. And I want something to edit it. I know my computer can handle 4K, too. I need a monitor. Okay, I'm going to head off now. See you guys at 8 for our career mode. Bye. Game Fair coming by James, too.